Hello crafty cuties! Super excited for today's video. I'm going to show you how to create this mini junk journal ornament. This would be awesome for a gift, or you could use it for your own memory keeping, and I think it would be so cute to put on your tree every year. So you are going to need some chipboard or very heavy cardstock. I have mine cut down to 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I have a variety of pages that are cut just a little bit smaller than that cover. When these are all folded, we are going to end up with a cover that's 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And you can change up the size if you'd like. I have my pages cut down for the cover and the inside cover, and then I have some lace and embellishments, just some things to decorate my cover and my pages with. I also have a crop-a-dile. If you don't have one, you can just use a hole punch. That's going to be necessary. And then I'm going to use an eyelet to hang my little ornament hanger on. And so I have a garment pin and a little ornament hanger. And then I have my binding supplies, which consist of some wax linen thread, an awl, a needle, and some paper clips. We are going to get started with the scoring. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can use a ruler and just fold at the lines. So again, my page is cut down to 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm going to have a 1/2 inch spine. So since I want the cover to be 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, my first score is going to be at 2.5 inches. So you can go ahead and score at that mark. And then I want the spine to be a 1/2 inch. So once we make that first score mark at 2.5 inches, you will go to the left 1/2 inch, and our second score will be at 3 inches. This is pretty easy to figure out, so you can definitely modify the size and create whatever size you would like. And again, you can use a ruler and just mark at those fold marks and then fold it by hand, but I do recommend getting a scoreboard if you like making junk journals and different craft projects. Just go ahead and fold at those marks, and you can see that we have created a very easy cover here. I am going to cover my cover with some muslin fabric. This is not necessary. You can go straight in and cover with whatever scrapbook paper you would like. But you guys know, or you might know, I love creating a fabric layer on my junk journals. I think that it just adds a layer of durability, and I just like the look. So I'm going to go ahead and I just covered my entire cover with the muslin. I was showing you a piece of fabric that I was considering using, but I wanted to use the Tim Holtz paper pad for this. So I just used my glue and cover the entire thing. I kept it pretty simple here. I'm going to fold over all of those edges just because it gives the journal a nice finished look when we wrap that fabric around the edges. You could have done the same thing with paper. Now I'm using my brown ink and I just inked up those edges. I said I had my cover pages already cut down, and I created a little layered embellishment here, and now I'm just going to put it together. I love inking up the edges. It just adds some, just a layer of dimension. So now I'm using a little bit of foam tape so that I can add my little layered embellishment on the cover, and then I will glue that cover onto the front here. I kept the back cover just plain, and I glued that on, and then we can move on to the inside. So I have those inside covers cut down, and I used some washi tape here in the spine just because it's going to look pretty. And so now I'm going to glue those pieces on. I cut those down a little smaller than 2.5 by 3.5 inches so that we have a border of the fabric. And now I'm going to punch my hole on the spine here. You can punch your hole wherever you would like on this book. You could do it in the cover or on the back cover. I liked it on the spine. I think it looks nice, and it works good for hanging the ornament hanger there. So I'm just going to set my eyelet in place here, And then I add my little garment pin, and I will attach my ornament hanger right onto that. So now we can move on to the pages. So I mentioned that I have a variety of pages here cut down already, and I'm going to fold them all. We're going to fold them and just put them right inside one another. This is creating the signature, which is just a group of pages that we will sew into our cover. I just fold those right in half. You could have a lot of fun with this and use a variety of different sizes and textures for your pages. I have 8 full pages, and when we fold those in half, we will end up with 32 sides to add some memories to. And now I'm quickly going to decorate my pages here. I didn't go in depth showing you how I decorated, but I do have a full video on 10 different page ideas. You can purchase that journal course if you would like, and I will have it listed below. And then I have some other videos on my channel showing different page decorating ideas, and those are just on my channel. So I am now realizing that I wanted to add some lace closures. So I'm just going to glue some lace. I just glue the very end to that inside cover, and then I'm going to cover it with some more scrapbook paper. I should have done this earlier before we added those pages, but it's okay. I ended up having extra paper of that same design, so I just covered those inside covers. Now it's time to bind. I have a piece of graph paper here. It is cut down to the exact spine size, which is 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches. That fits right inside there, and we will mark the holes that we are going to be binding. So you can take that graph paper. If you don't have graph paper, you can use just a regular piece of paper that's cut down to size. Fold that in half, and then fold that in half. And then when you unfold it, go ahead and write a T at the top of your binding template. That way you know that's the top. And then you can mark your holes, and you're going to mark those right where the fold lines meet the center. We are just sewing in one signature into the center of our spine. Then take whatever you have to punch your holes with and punch the holes straight through those places that we marked on our template. And I punched my holes a little uneven, but it's totally fine once it's all said and done. You can see it's not too big of a deal. But now we're going to take that same template and use it to punch holes into our signature. So I'm going to take some paper clips first to hold all of the pages in place. Take your template and you can simply fold it in half so that it kind of tucks down in the center of these signatures as tight as possible. This is going to help ensure that our holes go directly through that center. So go ahead and punch the holes into the signature. And now it's time to sew the signature into the cover. I'm going to measure out my string, and I want it to be about 2.5 times the length of the cover. You're going to have a little left over, and that's what I wanted. So go ahead and string your needle just through it once, and you don't have to tie a knot at the end. And then we're going to do a simple pamphlet stitch. You are going to go ahead and sew through that center hole, through the signature, through the cover, from the inside to the outside. And then go ahead and go up to that top hole, sew back in through the top hole to the inside. And then you're going to go straight down to the very bottom hole. And you will sew through the inside to the outside. And then we will go back through the center hole where we started. Make sure that everything's tight, but don't pull too tight so that you accidentally pull through one of those holes. When you sew back through that center hole where we started, you want to sew back onto the opposite side that you started. So do you see how there's that center string that goes all the way from the top to the bottom? You want one side of your string to be on one side of that center string and one one side of the string to be on the other. And go ahead and tie a knot. And you are all done. You can take your paper clips off. I decided to add a metal book corner. I'm just simply putting that on the corner, and I used some pliers to tighten it around since these were pretty thin covers. And now you are done with your adorable mini junk journal ornament. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you will create one of your own, and I hope you'll share it with me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram under I'm a Cool Mom with zeros for the O's. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys so much, and I will see you later.